Here I am out at the farm, everybody, and to be perfectly honest, this is a video I didn't really expect to be making. Take a look at these. What do you think those are? And some of you might look at those and you might say, well, apparently the keykeeper has some competition. Maybe he's going to lose his title. But that's not what these are for. See, we know some folks who run a Chevrolet dealership that's been in business for a very long period of time, since the 1930s. And somehow or another, I have no idea how this came to be. I wasn't expecting this to happen. My dad or my grandfather or someone asked them if they might have any keys that would be suitable for use with a 1962 Chevrolet grain truck. See, some of you probably knew where this was going. And so what I have here are two big rings of keys that represent the possible permutations, that's your math word for the day, of variations in key coding that General Motors would have used in the 1960s. And the hope is that one of these keys will fit the lock cylinder in the grain truck, and if I find one on here that does, and now this isn't just 1962 that's represented here, because this key tag right here says to 1966. So obviously there's a few model years newer represented by these, but the hope is that by going through these and trying them in the lock cylinder, hopefully I'll find one that fits, and when I do, I can take that one and have a copy of it made, or maybe even order a key in this day and age. I don't know if you can ordinarily get a key like that for such an old vehicle made at a dealership. Honestly, I'd kind of doubt it. I always figured something like these existed, but I didn't really know for sure, because the one case that I know of where somebody was actually given a 1970s Cadillac that had the keys lost for it, they actually contacted a locksmith, and the locksmith actually pulled the lock cylinder out of the car, quit dropping these all over the place, and replaced it with another one. But apparently there is another way to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over there to the grain truck and see if I can't find the lock cylinder, because I took it out because every time I was coming out here to play with it, I was just hot wiring it. And it would really be a lot nicer to be able to stick a key in there and go. And we're having unseasonably warm weather here in Illinois. I'll leave my truck link back there. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit out. And windy. I'm sure you can hear that it's windy. I'm trying to keep the wind from completely overwhelming my camera here. I don't know how successful that's going to be, although I might catch a little break because there's a windbreak right there. But little truckling is not terribly sure-footed on this kind of wet ground, and believe me, it is wet ground. I'll probably ruin my work clothes here. I tell you what, the only reason I came out here this fast from work is because the days still aren't terribly long, and I hope it's still light enough to make a good video. It certainly ought to be. Daylight savings time cannot come soon enough. Now, some of you have proposed, at least one person has proposed, that, you know, the keykeeper and I stage a little contest. Who can get their forgotten truck running first? You know, the grain truck or the Hendrickson truck. And some of you, I think, have even gone so far as to say that you think the keykeeper will get his going first. Well, I hasten to remind you that this old C60 has already fired and run, albeit briefly. Really, the only thing I have to figure out... Oof. How do you suppose this ended up in here? This piece of headlight trim wasn't in here. I wonder if somebody was thinking about borrowing parts off this thing. Somebody'd been in the glove box. I wonder what's up with that. I also thought I left the key cylinder on the seat. Clearly I'm going to have to find it, assuming it's still out here, which I thought that it was. But now, I'm not so sure. I have to look around and see if I can find that, because I definitely did not put it back in the dash, and I didn't hook it up to the electrical connector either. So, I'm not sure where that's gotten to be, but I'll just have to take a look. Well, I've looked all over this truck, and I can't find that lock assembly anywhere. I really don't think I took it out of here, but I guess I can look around at home. Although I'm afraid somebody's been goofing around with this truck out here. We've had vandal problems before out on this farm, and And I don't remember that mirror being off there like that, and I'm very sure that wasn't open. And I don't think that dome light thing was loose. And I certainly don't think that its diffuser lens was down there by the fuel tank. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'll go ahead and shut that thing, and I guess I'll just have to take a look around at home and see if I can find that lock cylinder someplace, because I'm completely baffled as to where it would be. So, ooh, scabby. Good night for now, grain truck. I probably will be back.